How you doing today, YouTube fam, YouTube friends, everybody out there in Wonderland, YouTube land? That's episode number 3, Farmer James, Mountainside Beekeeper. The other day I was a little bit silly. I wasn't too serious, talking about myself, a little bit chuckle. Yeah, I was just digressing, regressing, whatever the case may be. Pretty much just trying to get over a long day of studying. And what I mean by that is, yeah, just working on this master beekeeping program at Cornell University. Um, Trying to finish that up by the summer so I could call that another done project, trying to gain as much knowledge as I can about um, beekeeping and the practices thereof. Um, Today's show, I'm going to try to talk to you all about um, really about what I'm involved in and with beekeeping and the reason why I enjoy beekeeping. I was, I guess, my calling before I got involved. I was a lab geek and uh, spent most of my time before becoming a lab geek market gardening, organic farm gardening. Doing my own thing with my ex-partner, and we had a great time doing that. Kind of contributed raising the family. But long story short, some years ago, back in 2017, I was doing a market gardening, not really, just actually gardening, and I didn't see any honeybees, and so my quest began. During my quest, I joined the Vermont Beekeepers Association, and I purchased my first package of bees, and my quest begun. Um, Not being an experienced beekeeper, I got a package of bees from the south. Me living in Vermont, that was, as I learned, a good idea. And scientifically, from what I learned and continue to learn, no, didn't work out. Going from 2017 to that time, being, as I said, a member of the Vermont Beekeepers Association, since then, in 2019, I became a Vermont certified beekeeper um, with the support and help of two great Vermont beekeepers. One is Ross Conrad, and the other is Bill Mayers. A lot of people know famous Bill Mayers, a journalist, politician, and great Vermont beekeeper and educator. And the other, Ross Conrad, he wrote a couple books about natural beekeeping and organic beekeeping. So two great people that helped me get my Vermont beekeeper certification, which was a tedious exam, a lot of studying, and also the physical part, and that is my project demonstrating to my mentors, Ross and Bill, that I had the skill to become a Vermont certified beekeeper. The association, Vermont Beekeeper Association, has been around since the 1800s, so it's an honor to be a part of that association and become one of the many other Vermont certified beekeepers. So again, I'm Farmer James. My name's James Key. I'm a junior. Yep, and my 4-year degree is in ethnobotany, focusing on botanical plants, ethnic origins, focusing on medicinal plants used in medicinal ways such as ritual, dance, and healing. Primarily herbs used by my ancestors on the slave trade from Africa to Virginia, where my ancestors were brought to, and I am here, and as I just said, so enough said on that. Now let's get back to beekeeping. So yes, I feel I wanted to start this YouTube show, as many people decided I should try to do a YouTube show to share the many things that they feel I've contributed to Vermont beekeeping. I was born and raised in Virginia, and I moved up here in 1988. Again, like I said, I got into beekeeping in 2017. Well, I really wanted to focus is mountainside beekeeping. Living in Stockbridge, Vermont, where I currently live, but I spent many of my years in the Champlain Valley, where I started beekeeping. There, I learned and realized that the kind of bees I needed. Like I said, I started out with a package of bees, and they were Italian. Those bees don't fare well at all. They're not really mountainous bees, as I learned scientifically. So I really focused on using carniolans and Russians or mutt. I did get last year some pure Russian bees from a Russian breeder, a certified Russian honeybee breeder, who also worked with scientists, and he himself worked at the Baton Rouge Honeybee Lab. So these bees are, I believe, great bees run by not only great beekeepers but great scientists. John Harbaugh, another person, is some honeybees that I, have introduced those genetics, as well as I used the Harbaugh management for Varroa mite, the Varroa destructor, the mite that has come to North America via Apis mellifera, western honeybee. Reason I work with the bees I just mentioned is because of the fact that they are mountainous bees, and I live at the base of a mountain in Stockbridge, Vermont, where the climates are extremely more severe than that in the Champlain Valley. As well as these bees are a blend of bees, which I probably will, add more carniolan just because I want more gentleness, and I want to keep that around my colonies, I should say. Just because again, I really like to do a lot of educational workshops here in my backyard. So I have about a couple acres where part of it is dedicated to my honeybees and my honeybee research, you may call it. I've been doing projects on my own, basically incorporating what I've learned, using techniques from other beekeepers, or I should say what they've incorporated and added to their toolbox of management. Those ideas are using probiotics, microbiotics, essential oils, learning how to incorporate that at the proper and specific times to help build up my population so that I have a large, strong, and populations that can handle living with the Varroa destructor, as well as any of the viruses that the Varroa destructor might contribute, I should say, to the honeybees. It can lead to many, failing things in the honeybee colonies, for colony collapse, or a bunch of other things that, allow for you all to gain knowledge on yourself, as I did. But I'll share with you, just a little bit of those things. Because, again, I'm here to make us both successful. I don't want anybody to feel that, my role here is to regurgitate or try to implement and animate what you see on a variety of channels that are already out there. I want my channel to be informative, as basically we both go on a journey to become successful beekeepers. I want us to win, a majority of the battles that we are out there to fight, and that battle is whether we're fighting to gain more knowledge and try to figure out where to get that knowledge, to find resources to support gaining more knowledge, whether it's academic and are going to workshops that are locally put on by the different beekeeper associations, depending on where you are in the country. As well as if you're going to university and studying entomology and the specific the western honeybee, Apis mellifera. So there are a lot of things you could do to become resourceful in your own way, mentally and physically, academically, socially. Doesn't matter. Again, Farmer James. I'm representing Farmer James Apiculture and Honey in Stockbridge, Vermont. Our mission is that we support all pollinators. As I gain knowledge through the science and study of honeybees and honeybee keeping, the Apis mellifera, the western honeybee, has contributed to many issues in native pollinators throughout North America, whether in your backyard per se, whether it's the failure of many different species because of varroa mites jumping off of the honeybee onto them as they're out foraging, or just other issues, just the decline in the resources for those natives as they fight to gain the resources they need themselves to survive. So there's a lot to go into really wanting to know how to be a successful beekeeper. And that success is based on not only your bees surviving, but how you yourself survive on not wanting to quit. Me, myself, and I basically quit my job. I used all of my 401k, I used all of my retirement, contributed to the finances to get me to where I'm are in my apiary, to where I am in my apiary. So beekeeping is not cheap, but I was blessed with some skill set to write grants, and in those grants receive the resources, the financial resources to help me expand my apiary to get it where it is financially able to take care of itself, but not really take care of me. So I'm out there again seeking financial resources through grant writing, as well as I'm using other ways to try to gain financial means to add to supplement my income until such time I have enough honeybees to support the demand out there for my honey. Again, I'm Farmer James. I go by Farmer James, and that's my name. And I feel I'm a bee farmer. I do all the things that are necessary as a farmer would to take care of his livestock, that is. As I said, I'm a Vermont certified beekeeper. I've been that since 2019. Since that time, I've been published in Bee Culture Magazine, or had story Bee Culture Magazine. To last year, I was awarded by the Vermont Beekeepers Association as Outstanding Educator of the Year 2024, as well as the last 2 years serving on the Board of Directors of the Vermont Beekeepers Association. I'll be leaving the Vermont Beekeepers Association Board of Directors as I continue my education in my in-depth study of honeybees, specifically honeybees and breeding honeybees for the mountainous areas of Vermont. So I'll be, as I said, I'm going off, and not really going off. I've already started my Master Beekeepers program at Cornell. It'll be ending, the first semester will be ending, or the first 6 modules will be ending next week, Monday, where I'll just present an outline of my presentation for my final to receive my master's. In my orientation outline, basically I'm just going to go over in this 45-minute time span about how I'm going to basically share my journey educating new, advanced, or intermediate and advanced level beekeepers about my beekeeping practices in Stockbridge, Vermont, and primarily working with predominantly Carnolian species, Apis mellifera. As I said, I enjoy these bees based on the traits that I am looking for. And if you look up on your own about the Carnolian honeybee, you'll know what traits I'm talking about specifically. So again, I'm Farmer James. Everything I'm going to be doing here when I do an episode will be to educate you. Drop any of your questions, comments, good or bad, down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, so that you can be brought up to date about anything that will pop to this brain. Anything I can share with you about how you could win one of those blue ribbons or that certificate over there. It basically describes my award for winning the Black Jar Honey Contest in Nashville, North Carolina, put on by the Honeybee Research Center. My prayers out to those folks down there. They're still recovering from disaster, and I wish I could help them out, but I guess I am by just praying for them. That's all I could offer at this time. I don't have the finances to do it, but my prayers out to you folks. So yes, talking about beekeeping. Yes, I have really focused on mountain bees, the Carniolan bees. Like I said, I focus on feeding programs to work with those bees. I also do winterizing, introduction to my management, where I have adapted not only in my own backyard, using practices of various renowned beekeepers like Michael Palmer or Chas Mraz of Champlain Apiary, that's been around since the 1940s, 30s. Michael Palmer is 50 years beekeeper himself, 30 plus in the state of Vermont, if not 40 plus. I apologize, Mike, if I don't get it exact. I know you just did celebrate last year your 50th anniversary or 50th year in beekeeping. So hats off to you and salute to you. And thank you for calling me your friend, Michael Palmer. So that's a great thing to be called that. I also try to incorporate a lot of my scientific readings, whether, specifically, if working with Carniolans, I'll look at Sue Colby, a renowned scientist who did a lot of work in the introduction of the Carniolan species from Slovenia and her works. Hat off to her. We have other people in their technique with the management of varroa mites. John Harbaugh. I use his technique, the Harbaugh method, to evaluate whether my bees have the traits I'm looking for, because I don't use miticides. I don't like that kind of toxins brought in. I know it's used. Thanks to Umberto Boncristiani, another great scientist, in his show Inside the Hive, he showed and he proved that miticides are not 100% efficacy. So I think I had that knowledge quite some time ago. Being an ethnobotanist, I discovered a lot of different things about pharmaceutical chemicals and so forth, but I'm not going into that. But long story short, if you see bees evolve with such toxicide or miticide, I mean, not the bees, but a miticide that will kill the bees, but a parasite that will evolve with a miticide or toxin, then, So I try to find bees that can live with the varroa destructor or evolve with the varroa destructor, the varroa mite. And as you mentioned already, I already mentioned those couple of bees. So I do that, and I incorporate essential oils. I incorporate probiotics, microbiotics. Such a times where the bees don't have the natural resources that are available. Also, I implement it in my IPM management. So the essential oils I do is, my mite treatment. I use scientific evaluation, scientific methods, scientific studies. So I don't just, top gun it. I don't shoot from the hip. I'm a bee farmer. I'm not a cowboy. Farmer James. So back there again. And also my mission is to be one of the best bee farmers in the world. That ribbon shows that I have some of the best honey in the world, Black Jar honey tasting. Again, that's just one show. I'm going to enter other shows as I get the currency to pay for the shipping and entry fee. I will enter as many shows as I can. if some of you folks out there want to sponsor and pay for that entry fee for me, I will definitely give you a shout out about your support to Farmer James and a thumbs up of your appreciation. And we'll add another blue ribbon. And that one there's the second one. I have another one that I'll case up. That was from a honey show. And all my honey always wins second prize just because it's never pretty but awfully tasty. So again, I'm not pretty, but anyhow, let's move on. So, back to what I'm saying. Yes, and I do pay attention. All those people out there, New England folks, like I said, I already mentioned. Ross Conrad, another person I mentioned. I try to give a shout out to as much as I can. Also, I watch what Troy Hall does over in New Hampshire. Also, Tika down in Florida, as well as a couple other people that work with Michael Palmer that are down in Florida. I hope you folks appreciate me saying your names and don't reach out as I'm not using it in a bad way, but a good way because you all have been giving me great material to look at or read. My bees are, I think are great bees right now. They're surviving. I'm not outside doing a video, folks. It's cold out there. Most days, over the last week, it's been like, 20 degrees or below. 20 degrees in the daytime and at night below zero. So that's, I don't want to stand out there 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute. But here, I'll be here for 15, 20. It's nice and cozy. So, this journey, our journey, again, it's a mission for me. I guess it's a mission. It's a story that helped. The mission is a real mission. The word was given to me to quit my job and dedicate my life, my finances to studying honeybees. Learning about honeybees has been my glory. As honeybees, that people know or not know, one of the creatures on our great planet Earth that is not a predatory creature. It just defends its colony. It defends its environment. It defends everybody there in its home. So I hats off to you ladies for doing your job, as well as hats off to you for sharing that goodness we call honey, which is a valuable resource of food, energy for myself. It's helped me lose more than 50-something pounds when I dropped using that fake sugar and I used God's gift called honey. Actually, the lady's gift from the great goodness. Called honey, and that's all I use as a sweetener. And it's glorious to use, and I feel glorious very much. Thank you much. So anyhow, on my journey, our journey, I'll make sure that we value, so I want to share with you that, I'm dedicated, I'm dedicated to make sure that, as you see that, to prove to y'all that I'm going to put the time in necessary. I'm not worried about the awards. The awards are just given me because I don't talk about, but I show the work I put in. The results are demonstrated by those folks who are my students, and those students demonstrate that they've learned by showing how their colonies have thrived, showing me about how they've harvested what they have harvested. So this journey I'm going to share with you, and all my episodes will be part, like I said, talking about the great creature that has been given to us on this planet Earth. It's a great creature that will keep our vitality going, so I'm trying my best to keep its vitality going. So I'll cover everything going for, like I said, I already said that, in my backyard. I'll cover the science. Everything I do is from the science. So based on that, again, what I do and what I share with you is my opinion. And just because I'm just a beekeeper. That's about it. All right, I'm just a beekeeper. So I'm going to share with you, as a beekeeper, my opinion, because I'm going to translate the works that I read, which are a lot of scientific research and works. So I'll be putting that together and translating it for you all to visualize and hear me talk about, so that we could have a great journey and be some of the happiest beekeepers out there, um, and be able to say, I'm using my bees so that you can be one of these people right here talking about your ribbon. We're running that beautiful honey that you was given by those ladies called honeybees in your backyard. Um, so my up and coming next episodes will be focused on my introduction about what I'll talk about in a presentation towards my masters. But the journey will be about you, the honeybee keepers, and what your trials and tribulations, and also what your successes are, and what made you become a beekeeper. You already know what made me become a beekeeper, and that is, I could say, a superhero to help with the survival of us, so that we could have that varietal of glorious things that we put on our plates at our charcuterie boards, if that's what the case may be. But again, we do enjoy tomatoes, we do on grapes, avocados, and the list goes on. Um, but I can't go on. I gotta stop. I gotta prepare for some work to get done, and I don't want to spend all my time today talking to you. Um, but yeah, this is some stuff I got to get done. I know if you can't see it, that's all right. The light is blinding. It says course project created an outline. Okay, it's a presentation. So I'm not joking, folks. I'm serious. Yeah. So I apologize for yesterday or the last episode's experience. I was foolish, but that's what brain jam will do. Again, my next episode, you will be listening to me talk about my outline, and how I'm going to go through it, because it's going to go from why you need bees for where you are, not where I am, or where you see people do a lot of YouTube shows that are from. Not to say what they're saying is not good for you, but to say the bees might not be good for you. So, in that note, I think it's really good to learn abroad, mentally, physically, meaning maybe take a travel trip to your local beekeeper in your neck of the woods, as well as gain some more knowledge about beekeeping from a variety pack of beekeepers. Like I said, I might, enjoy something from the Yukon beekeeper out there, because Yukon territory is a little colder than up here in the Green Mountain state of Vermont. But again, thank you, folks. This is Farmer James Beekeeping, and guess what? Remember, I'm just a beekeeper, and I'm just here sharing my opinion. Farmer James. Yeah.